on the gridiron or courtside, you know what time it is. It's
Sports plus life. Sports plus life.
ringside or front court or field pass, we ballin', no. Knuckle up or buckle up, I tell it like it is when I'm on my show. Home run, slam dunk, knockout, or got to go.
Sports plus life.
Yeah.
Sports plus life.
Ah.
Yo, 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 yo. What's up? What's really good? It's your boy Brandon Brevon Towns, host of that show called Sports Plus Life. You feel me? Boy, we got a jam-packed show today, so guess what? Guess what? Turn it off, turn it off, turn it all the way off now, yeah! How is everybody doing today? Oh my goodness, it is getting hot outside again, and it's just been the last few days, it's just been rainy and been dreary and all of that good old stuff. But please allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Brandon Brevon Towns, host of that show called Sports Plus Life, that there sports podcast where we talk about all of the necessary topics in sports and all of the necessary topics in life. And just whenever I say to myself, okay, I think I'm going to take a week off because it is the dog days of summer, content just starts to oozing out. And I'm like, damn, I feel like I need to talk about this and feel like I need to do an episode on it. So here I am. It is Monday, August the 1st, 2000 of the 22. Full belly, full stomach. And it is just hit noon in Richmond, VA. Of course, by the time this gets to you on YouTube and by the time I send it out on Facebook, it will be well past noon. It'll probably be dinner time, but kids had a doctor's appointment this morning, got up, took care of that, went to Golden Corral and had us a good old-fashioned Golden Corral bruffer. I'm talking about biscuits and gravy and bacon and sausage and eggs with cheese on it and French toast and ham and all of that good old stuff. My kids are good and full. So am I. Honestly, I probably ain't going to eat again until dinner. I'm probably not going to eat again until dinner time because I crushed. I was hungry. But anyway, before we get started, I just, of course, got to do my well wishes. Send my love out to everybody. Shouts out to everybody. My black and gold fam, my fam in general. I hope everybody has a safe and wonderful and blessed week, as again, it is Monday. Now, before we get to the sports, before we get to the realm of sports, I'm going to address something that was the first reason which preceded me to do a show today, and that was the apology that was made public that came out last Friday by Will Smith to Chris Rock. Now, everybody knows that a couple months ago, Will Smith gave Chris Rock the slap heard around the world and unfortunately ended up sabotaging the Oscars and sabotaging his big night because he won the Actor of the Year award for his performance in King Richard. And months have passed, and Will Smith has been the butt of a lot of jokes, and he's earned them, quite frankly, because he shouldn't have did what he did. But he's a human being and he messed up. But this is what some of his apologies sounded like.
I can say to all of you, there is no part of me that thinks that was the right way to behave in that moment.
Now, one thing that has made a lot of people curious is what took so long to apologize to Chris Rock, and a lot of people were thinking he should have did it that night as soon as he accepted his award.
It's all fuzzy. I've reached out to Chris, and the message that came back is that he's not ready to talk, and when he is, he will reach out. So I will say to you, Chris, I apologize to you. My behavior was unacceptable, and I'm here whenever you're ready to talk. After Jada rolled her eyes, did she tell you to do something? No. It's like, I made a choice on my own from my own experiences, from my history with Chris. Jada had nothing to do with it. I'm sorry, babe.
Now, I do agree with him on the notion that he made a choice, that he did make a choice. He chose to go up on the stage and do what he did. Now, as men, as men who have been in relationships for a long time with the same woman, and I'm not saying that to try to be funny, but we know our women, and like the women know their men. When she rolled her eyes, she didn't have to specifically say, go up there and smack that nigga. But that's the only pushback I give on it, is because clearly her rolling her eyes basically was something that if you didn't do something about it right then and there, you was going to have to hear about it when you left. And I mean something to the degree of emasculating you, particularly when she's emasculated you so much in the public eye, in the public perception. Now, don't get me wrong. I ain't anti-marriage or anything else just because mine ain't work out. But there's something toxic about this chick. I'm talking about Jada. There is something toxic about her, and it's something about her that has a hold over him that makes him feel almost, to me, this is just my opinion, almost a feeling of never being good enough to satisfy her. And I think that's one reason why everybody came at her neck, because people can clearly see that there's something toxic about this chick. But Will Smith did also go on to apologize to more people, including Chris Rock's family.
I want to apologize to Chris's mother. I wasn't thinking, but how many people got hurt in that moment. I want to apologize to Chris's family, specifically Tony Rock. We had a great relationship.
And I think that's appropriate. Now, I understand what he's saying about apologizing to Tony Rock, but I mean, specifically to me, the apology that matters most is the one to Chris Rock's mother, because I'm like, goodness gracious, you sitting there as a mama, look at my baby perform, and then somebody come up and slap him on the face, and that embarrasses you, that embarrasses the family, but I definitely think it was an appropriate apology, and he also apologized to other people from the Academy.
It's like I won because you voted for me, and it really breaks my heart to have stolen and tarnished your moment. I can still see Questlove's eyes. It happened on Questlove's award, and it's like I'm sorry really isn't sufficient. It hurts me psychologically and emotionally to know I didn't live up to people's image and impression of me. I am deeply remorseful, and I'm trying to be remorseful without being ashamed of myself, right? I'm human, and I made a mistake, and I'm trying not to think of myself as a piece of shit.
Okay. And Will Smith also went on to say that, if Chris Rock hangs on, I'm pretty sure they could be friends again, and that he just wants to spread light, love, and joy into the world, and that's cool. That's cool. For one, now let me give my opinion on this, the rest of my opinion anyway. Will Smith is a human being, and he messed up. He made a mistake. He made a mistake that the whole world could see. I'm pretty sure, Chris Rock seems like a sensible human being. I'm pretty sure that one day you will see them in public. I'm pretty sure you'll probably see a parody starring these two about this. They'll probably do commercials about this later on down the road. But as for right now, hey, Chris Rock is going to ride this financial wave because it boosted his ticket sales up crazy, and I don't blame him. I don't blame him at all. Will Smith is not a piece of shit. I hope he doesn't think of himself as a piece of shit. He just had a piece of shit moment, to be honest with you. But that doesn't define who you are as a man. That doesn't define who you are as a person. It doesn't define your life or your accomplishments. You made a mistake. it was a mistake for the world to see. And there are going to be people out here who are going to pounce on and really drive home the fact of making Will Smith look like a bad person. But if you're a true Will Smith fan, like I am, I'm a true Chris Rock fan. I love both of them. But if you're a true Will Smith fan, you don't see him any differently, other than the fact that I just think he's with a toxic chick. I do. I think he should go on about his business. I think they should go on their separate ways, because clearly it has some kind of effect on him. And she, for whatever reason, almost seems envious of the status that he is at or was at, and that she never got there. But that's my opinion on that situation. But again, I don't think Will Smith is a piece of shit. And if you're a real Will Smith fan, you still rock with Will Smith. You don't view him any different. You're banned from the Academy Awards for 10 years. So what? I mean, honestly, that's the way I look at it. And people who are out there, throwing shade on Will Smith's apology, who the hell are you? That would be my retort to that. Who the hell are you? Anybody who's thrown any shade on Will Smith's apology, are you perfect as a human being? No. I made a YouTube live. Signal wasn't that great, but the other day on Friday when the apology first came out. This cancel culture stuff that we have going on, to me, gets on my damn nerves, because what it is people who are out there trying to put a label on, they're asking people to be something that is impossible for people to do, and that is be perfect. Nobody on God's green earth is perfect. And that's what cancel culture is. It's you're trying to erase somebody's legacy or accomplishments when they make one mistake, because they have to be perfect. Nobody is perfect. And I'm not trying to be funny. This is why I love Mike Tyson so much. Not just because I'm in love with the sport of boxing, but Mike Tyson has done so much wrong in his life, and he's also been wronged so many times. But he's the true definition of a fighter, because he keeps getting knocked down, but he continues to get back up. I don't believe he raped that girl back in the early 90s, but I'm not going to get off topic. And I bring up Mike Tyson because there are people who then and still never want Mike Tyson to be heard from again because of past transgressions. And one thing I notice is how quick we want to cancel a black celebrity, and they say, "Oh, Brandy, you're taking it to race." You damn straight, because the goalpost gets moved back when it comes to black celebrities. I mean, if white celebrities have to maintain an image, black people have to be absolutely spotless, or else the dogs are coming for you. And the worst part about it is, black people pounce on black people harder. Now, Will Smith is going to be the butt of jokes for comedians, and he earned that. He did. He earned it. You can't cry over that, because at the end of the day, you did it. You did it. Everybody saw you do it. But this notion of should we forgive Will Smith is a joke to me. It's ridiculous. And again, who the hell is anybody to say that we shouldn't? People love to go around acting like they shit don't stink when the object of ridicule is pointed at a different individual. It's so easy for everybody else to go out and say what they would have done had they been put in that situation when they weren't put in that situation. That's all I'm saying about the Will Smith situation. Now, what I don't like is people maybe now feeling brave enough to run up on stage at a comedian when he's cracking jokes, because comedy is comedy. Comedy is comedy. If you don't like it, don't come to the club, my nigga. I said that before when me and David had pretty much a whole show about this situation between Will Smith and Chris Rock. Like I said, I think Chris Rock is a sensible man. Him and Will Smith will patch this up, and it will probably be behind closed doors first, which it should be. And then they're both going to actually end up probably making a lot of money off of this. I guarantee Chris Rock is already making money off of this, which as he should. It was his face that took the abuse, which he should be making a lot of money. But eventually they are going to make money together when they laugh about this and put this behind them. Another reason why I brought up Mike Tyson, Evander Holyfield, The Bite. Okay, they have made that incident has made Mike Tyson so much money, and he did it. And he's the one who did it. But also Evander Holyfield as well, as they've had parodies about it and commercials, parodies about it in movies, and they're great friends. They're great friends now. So I don't think for a second that Will Smith and Chris Rock won't patch this up. I appreciate Will's apology. Did it take a little bit long for me? For me personally, okay, I would have apologized. I can say if I was put in that situation, yes, I would have apologized sooner. But I don't know what was going on, and nobody else knows what was going on in Will Smith's mental and physical space after said event had happened. So I'll say this, it's better to be late to the party than to not show up at all. And maybe this took a lot of pondering and a lot of thought, and because Will Smith could have apologized. Now, like I said, if Will Smith, to me, I think he should have apologized when he gave his acceptance speech for King Richard. But but whether he made that apology or not, the backlash was inevitable. The butt of jokes was inevitable. The talk about it was inevitable. So that was going to happen regardless whether he apologized right there on the spot or whether he waited 3 months to do it. Either way, the backlash was coming. He could not avoid that. He couldn't. But I don't think he should think of himself as a piece of shit. You just had a piece of shit moment, homie. You shouldn't be ashamed of yourself. I mean, to the naked eye, it looked as if you were defending your wife, even though, like I said, that's a toxic chick. Will do yourself a favor and separate yourself. But he made a mistake. People do. He made a mistake. He's a human being. We're all human beings. And sometimes just because you're a celebrity and you're seen as a role model, you're still a person. You're still a person who drinks water and breathes air. So mistakes happen, some bigger than others, but mistakes happen. And this was a mistake where it's correctable. Even if Chris Rock decides to never forgive Will Smith and never speak to him again, as long as Will Smith acknowledges his wrongdoing, apologizes for it, appears to be remorseful, then he all right by me. He was all right by me anyway. I was just like, dang, that shit was kind of gangster, but, the joke wasn't warranting of getting slapped in the face, but it is what it is. I don't condone it. I don't applaud it. It shocked me like it shocked everybody else in the world. But Will Smith, go ahead and live your life, bro. Chris Rock, go ahead and talk to that man, and y'all both can make a fat bag out of this. Chris Rock deserved a bigger bag because he the one who took the abuse. But y'all go ahead, y'all band together. Maybe y'all will have a comedy spoof about this next year when the Oscars come up, even though Will Smith won't be in attendance, obviously, but who cares? So I just thought I would lead off with that. Now, as far as sports goes, let's get to it. Man, when I tell you it's been a day, excuse me, already. Breaking news, Deshaun Watson, a judge, independent arbitrator judge, I believe her name is Sue Robinson, ordered a suspension for him of 6 games, 6-game suspension. And to discuss things, Deshaun Watson, and I'm going to keep it consistent, I got Cutting David. Cutting David.
Hey, what's going on now?
When it's Cutting David on the phone, what time is it?
Hey, it's time to get fucking stupid.
All right. Well, hey, Deshaun Watson just came down just about 2 hours ago. The decision by independent arbitrator judge is Roger Goodell did not make this decision after looking at all of the evidence. And remember the last time we talked about this, D, he had settled with 20 out of 24 out of 25 women. Now he settled with all but one. So the decision the judge made was 6 games. We both thought it would probably be a whole season. What do you think?
Yeah. All right, so the one that he didn't settle with, all 23 of them settled, but he done paid everybody off for one. The one who ain't going to settle, that's the one who's going to bite him in the ass. Because she either want money or she don't want money. That's why she didn't settle. So the appeals process now, that's going to be interesting. So the NFL pretty much said, no, that's good for me, right?
No, the NFL Players Association said, and Deshaun Watson's representation said that's good for them. The NFL Players Association union reps has already said that they're not going to appeal. Now, the NFL office, as in Roger Goodell, he could come up with a whole nother verdict. So how do you think that's going to turn out?
Well, now you say the players union and everything like that. Now, I think that's the other side. Now, like we talked about before on the other podcast, now if people come up and say, oh, well, he only got six games because he damn near sexually violated a whole bunch of women 20-something times, and that's all he gets is six games. Now, it's the unpopular opinion right now. That's what he got handed down. He got 6 games. He's probably going to have to make a speech, or he probably will make a speech sometime later today, if not before the end of the week, saying, okay, I learned my lesson. They're probably going to have to make him do a whole bunch of classes, or he should be enrolled in classes already, saying, all right, he needs to get some type of help because, bro, you need some type of help. And I think a lot of that is going to be just really a lot of opinions based on 6 games. Is that enough to satisfy the media, all the people that he's hurt, made victims of, this, that, and the third. So right now, the NFL is saying, all right, that's what we've decided. Now it's going to go down to a whole bunch of other folks that are saying, nah, we think it should be more.
You mean public perception?
For public perception, that's it. Public perception. Because I guarantee you it's going to be a lot of unhappy folks. 6 games, that's all he got for sure. But damn near raping a whole bunch of people. Damn near. 6 games and that's all he get?
Well,
this
see,
is what?
let me explain. Let me explain things through a few angles. While I don't disagree with your perception of it, but let me throw a couple different angles at you, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so one thing that I've learned about in situations like this, particularly when it comes to domestic situations, you're not going to be able to satisfy everybody. Period. You're not going to be able to satisfy everybody. There's some people who will not be satisfied with anything short of Deshaun Watson being in jail or never being able to play football again. So you'll never be able to satisfy everybody. Now, if you're on Deshaun, this is where Deshaun Watson's team has made, and I'm not defending anything that he's done, but I'm just talking about this. I'm talking about this process. This is where Deshaun Watson's people have kind of made heads up plays. Okay, the ruling is 6 games. Oh, all he gets is 6 games. Well, remember, he didn't play last season at all because of all of this. So he's already missed 1 full season. Now you're talking about 1 full season and 6 more games. Second of all, while I don't think that, because Roger Goodell has the authority where he could actually make this a longer suspension. The NFL was looking for 12 games. Deshaun Watson's camp was looking for 6 to 8. You left it up to an independent arbitrator. You left it up. You didn't put it in Roger Goodell's hands. You put it in the hands of an actual certified judge. As in, this is what she had. This is what her college education is. And I say her in bold print letters because it was a female judge at that. So the female judge has looked at all of the evidence. You've already settled with all but 1 case. You already missed a year. You two different Texas grand juries say there was not enough evidence to indict criminal charges against you. So with all of that's happened over a year, okay, and the fact that you've already missed the season, I'm going to give you 6 games. Roger Goodell does have it in his power where he could make it 8 to 10. But what I'm looking at this, Roger Goodell and the NFL probably wants this to go away because you know that you're not going to be able to satisfy everybody. And here's another example of how Deshaun Watson's people has been playing a heads-up game. Okay, Deshaun Watson has missed a year because of this. Now he has 6 more games. Well, the NFL came out public and said that they're going to hold their owners to higher standards than the players. So if you're Deshaun Watson's people, you're saying, whoa, wait a minute. You want to give us an indefinite suspension. Oh, now you just want to give us a 12-game suspension. But what the hell happened with domestic and sexual misconduct cases against Robert Kraft, Jerry Jones, and Daniel Snyder? Nothing happened to them, but they're supposed to be held to a higher standard. Nah, bruh. We'll take 6 or 8 games and leave us the hell alone. What do you think?
It should be all around. The same standard you carry for one player, owner, whatever, you need to carry for everybody. It's got to be the same all around, not just color barrier, all around barrier. Whether you're an owner, you're a player, you're a coach, you whatever. You're going to carry the same standard that you're going to carry for one player, organization, whatever have you, you need to carry for everybody. If you're going to carry one person to the higher standard, everybody in the NFL needs to be carried to the same standard. If you're going to charge him with said crime, you need to charge everybody who's charged or who's committed a similar act to the same standard and be charging them with the same crime.
But see, here's the thing, D, is that Robert Kraft and Jerry Jones and Daniel Snyder, Roger Goodell works for them. You understand what I'm saying? Because there was a lady on Congress just a month ago when they were talking about Daniel Snyder who was like, remove him, strip him of his ownership of the Washington Commanders. And he said, I work for him. I can't do that. So this is what Deshaun Watson's people are saying. Wait a minute. I don't give a damn if I'm an owner or a player. Them dudes did a lot. Them dudes did, particularly Daniel Snyder. I mean, as far as what I've been hearing is that this dude is just disgusting.
Yeah, he out of control for real.
Yeah, and there's nothing that's been done about it. You know what I'm saying? My man's has already missed a year and some change. I think he served enough. And I'm saying this as if I were representing Deshaun Watson. Now, the judge actually did say something to me, said something that to me sounded kind of special. That, I don't mean to laugh at this, but she said his sexual acts were nonviolent. Therefore, he didn't do any violent sexual acts. Nonviolent sexual acts, huh?
Yeah, I mean, you got to tie a bitch up and then hang her from the ceiling for it to count. I mean, that's good to know, I guess. I mean, not that I'm a partake in said acts, but I mean, it's good to know as long as it's nonviolent. All right, cool. Just hands up. I mean, not for you folks to go out there and take that and use it for your own advantage or anything like that, but as long as it's nonviolent.
So basically nonviolent, which means you can just pull your stuff out and just whack, 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 whack. It ain't hurt nobody.
Yeah. Yep. As long as it ain't hurt nobody, you're good to go. You're ready to rock. Yeah, so that's the thing.
And what did you call Deshaun Watson?
A habitual dick show, man. Look, I guess that's how we rocking nowadays. Cause yeah, that's something. I'll pretend to know all the legal side of all of this, but if that's how they're getting down, that's how they're getting down. I do agree with the whole thing with if it's everybody needs to be charged the same. We all under the same justice system, so sure. It don't matter if you work if you work for these folks. If your boss is exhibiting less than stellar behavior, your boss can be removed. It don't matter who you work for. If I work for Bill Gates and Bill Gates is running around and goddamn got an iPhone strapped to his nuts, and it's like, hey, let me take a picture of this. You know what I mean? Like, you can remove guy. I mean, if he's a majority or minority owner, you can't get him brought up on charges. There's clauses in everything that if you are a professional, you just that. You're a professional. And you can and therefore will be charged. The law don't work with just this person, that person, don't matter how much majority or minority stake you own in any company. You will be charged as such.
Yeah, especially if you got an iPhone strapped to your nuts.
Yeah, look, if you got an iPhone strapped to your nuts, you're doing something wrong with your personal business. You got too much time on your hands. That's what that is. You got a little bit too much time on your hands. Look, that's just what that is. If they go forward with it, I guess I'll say I'm with you on that one. Should they leave it alone? If you Deshaun Watson, yeah, you want him to leave it alone.
Well, yeah, Deshaun Watson and the NFL, Deshaun Watson's representation and the NFL Players Association have already said that they're not going to appeal. They said this a day ago, maybe 2 days ago, that no matter what the judge's decision is, and they probably had somebody on the inside saying, yo, they probably had a tip saying that, hey, she's only going to give him 6 games. So there was a public statement that came out a couple of days ago that no matter what the judge ruled, they were not going to appeal. So they're not going to appeal. And now, do you have an issue? So now that this judge, again, this judge, this what she went to college for. This judge has made this decision in regards to, his suspension. Would you feel some type of way if Roger Goodell went and usurped that as if he's bigger than the? Well, I'm not even gonna say that last part. Would you feel some type of way if Roger Goodell made the suspension longer?
I would feel that Roger Goodell was put on some type of pressure that he made it longer. Not that he made it longer under his own free will. I feel like if he made it longer at this point, he was put under some type of pressure from some outside source. Because they were put under some type of pressure. Roger Goodell, as you've already pointed out, he's not making decisions for Roger Goodell. He makes decisions for other people who are putting money into his pocket.
And
Roger Goodell,
okay, go ahead.
Himself wouldn't make a decision unless it benefited Roger Goodell.
Well, like I said earlier, when we first started talking about this, and Roger Goodell knows good and damn well that there are going to be some people that are unsatisfied. Anything short of him saying, Deshaun Watson, you're banned for life.
Right.
So he knows that people are going to be unhappy with this, or people are going to be unhappy with whatever decision is made, because he could say, well, nope, I'd rather make it an 8-game suspension, suspend you half the season. And there's still going to be people saying, oh, all he did was tack on 2 more games.
Right.
So, and my thing is, this is how I feel about it. The judge, like I said, first of all, this is a judge. She wears a black robe. I'm pretty sure she's never had this with her, Sue Robinson, whatever her name is. I'm pretty sure she's never had this high profile of a case brought to her attention. But this is the decision that she made based on everything that has transpired over the past year. If I'm Roger Goodell, I'm not messing with it, because one, I want it to go away. There's a football season coming up. I'm tired of talking about Deshaun Watson and him showing his penis. I'm tired of that. I want to see. I'm not gonna make the sentence longer, because for one, I'm the commissioner of the NFL. I ain't the damn law. I'm not the judicial system.
All right.
And a lady who actually works for the judicial system gave said punishment. I'm gonna ride with that said punishment.
All right.
So that's how I would, I wouldn't mess with it. I'd leave it alone. Let him go ahead, sit 6 games. Nobody appeals, and let's be over and done with it. Because the bottom line is, the shit storm is gonna come back up the minute he steps back on, the minute that his suspension is up. But as soon as he throws his first touchdown pass, unfortunately, a lot of people are going to forget about it. Unfortunately.
Yeah, we're a fickle breed of people. So, yeah, you're right. If you're going to hate him right now, but especially back in Cleveland side, as soon as he starts winning, or if he's able to win with what Cleveland got, he's going to be praised as a hero. All the antics aside, he's going to be praised as a hero.
Now,
Or at least that didn't happen in Cleveland in so many years.
So, okay, so now let's look at that. Now that, as for right now, at least for right now, this shit could change tomorrow. But as for right now, Deshaun Watson is suspended 6 games. Let's look at their schedule. I'm going to read their schedule off to you. Their first 6 games. They're at Carolina, where Baker Mayfield now plays. That's funny.
That's funny.
Then they're home to the Jets. Then they're home to the Steelers. They're at the Falcons.
They win.
They home to the Chargers and home to the Patriots. That's their first 6 games. Now, the reason why I bring this up is because
he's not playing any of those.
Well, no, he's not playing any of those, but the Cleveland Browns have a very well-constructed team. They're strong at every position except quarterback. Why Baker Mayfield ain't there no more. You know Jacoby Brissett. You're a Patriots fan. He's a more than capable backup. Do you think out of those 6 games that they could possibly be 3-3 or even 4-2 and put themselves in position to where when Deshaun comes back, I'm talking about Deshaun the quarterback now, Deshaun the quarterback is a top 5 if not top 3 quarterback in the NFL. Does this put, I mean, if you're a Cleveland Browns fan and you're worrying about your potential season, you've got to be excited now.
Because there's a lot of those games that they can potentially win. You come out with a W.
Right. Like, I think for all intents and purposes, they should beat the Panthers. They should beat the Jets. Be honest with you, they should beat the Steelers. Because the Steelers, I mean, the Steelers are Mitch Trubisky's their quarterback now.
Right.
You know, I don't see them beating the I don't see them beating the Chargers, but they should beat the Falcons.
Right.
You know, and the Patriots, I don't know what to make of you guys yet.
It's still it's up in the air, but they'll at least give them a good run.
So I'm thinking that the Cleveland Browns could very well be 3-3 or even 4-2 when Deshaun suspension is up, assuming that it stays at 6 games.
Correct.
So do you think now Cleveland becomes a player in the AFC as far as, you know, potential to make some noise?
I don't see why they would. There's nothing in their schedule right now, at least in the first 6, that says they can't.
Well, I tell you what,
I don't know their last 6 games.
Yeah, well, their schedule gets hellified tougher after week 6. Then after, you know, week 7, you're at Baltimore. Then you have to play Cincinnati. Then you're at the Dolphins. Then you're at Buffalo. Then you got Tampa. Then you got the Bengals again. You got the Ravens again. You got the Saints. You got the Steelers again. You know, you got the Eagles. You know, so their schedule gets a whole lot tougher after week 6. But if Deshaun is only suspended for 6 games, week 7, when the schedule gets tough, now you can throw him into the fire and you feel better about your chances.
So at least the first, they should come out 3-3. At least the first 6.
I could see that happening.
Should come out 3-3.
Should come out.
Well, yeah, it should come out 3-3. Unless some other crap done happens, and who knows. But yeah, I could realistically see them coming out 3-3. Schedule gets tougher. Maybe they pull out some old trick bullshit, and then they come out maybe 2 or so wins, and they come out of this season maybe 7 wins, 8 wins.
Wow, really? Okay, all right. Well, okay. I mean, I would see. I mean, you could be right on the money, but I would, because remember, 17 games now. I would, if Cleveland,
I'm up playing it now. Remember, realistically.
Right. Well, I could see if Cleveland comes out 3-3 and then they get Deshaun back, I could see them winning 10 games.
Well,
I mean, that would be 10-7, and that might. Just because you win 10 games, the way the AFC is loaded, winning 10 games might not get you in the playoffs.
It might not. No, that just means they've improved from last year.
Well, oh yeah,
but that'll definitely keep them around for a bit.
I think I also heard that I think one of the stipulations is that Deshaun Watson can only get massages from the team's, the team appointed masseuse.
Well, that's a smart clause. That's a smarter clause than Kyler Murray's. That's a way smarter clause.
Hey, I want to talk. I want to ask you about that.
Look,
before I get to Kyler Murray, what are you thinking if you're the Cleveland Browns team masseuse and you now have to massage Deshaun Watson?
Look, I'm gonna ask for a raise first and foremost. If I know your rep, then I'm not just gonna take that laying down. If I know what you're capable of, I'm not gonna just take that for the bare minimum. You paying me to be the team massage. That's one of them things ain't no fun if the homies don't get none. I know who you are. I know what you about. I'm gonna get y'all gonna pay me some more money. I ain't doing this for bare bones.
Like, this man got a rep.
Yeah, a rep. He known in these streets. Know who you are, cuz. Y'all gonna give me some more money. It ain't finna go down like this, man. And then showing up every piece of paper I sign, I'm gonna be looking for the fine print at the bottom of it, like I'm not signing an NDA.
Right.
Y'all ain't finna trap me, man. Oh yeah, that was on section 6, subsection B of your contract. Yeah, you gotta touch him in those places. Like, nah, y'all ain't finna trap me. Nah. I'm gonna get some more money out of y'all. I don't care what y'all go. I'm gonna be like, look, I don't even like football like that. But y'all finna give me some more money.
Now, that's where I was going to next. Kyler Murray. I talked about last week on the show. I talked about Kyler Murray had just got the extension for his contract, but then the next day, last Tuesday, is when the study clause had been released about the contract. That has now since been rescinded because of all the backlash that it took. What did you think about that?
I'm like, are we really sure Kyler Murray can read? Let's be real about it. I mean, maybe that boy dumbass. I mean, we shouldn't have put that in the first place. I don't even know if Kyler Murray can read. How you gonna put that in there? He need to study film. Like, I don't know if he can count to 10. Can he throw a football? Yes. Can he count to 10? Not so sure. Not so sure. That didn't need to be in there in the first place. Like, I don't want to call him a dumbass, but at the same time, as long as he's able to play football, bro, I don't think that needs to be in there. That didn't need to be a clause. Like,
well, they didn't.
Better way they could have went about it.
That's gonna be, even though now they've taken that out the contract, that's following him for the rest of his career, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, is it a proven fact that does he study film?
I mean, whatever film he does study, I mean, obviously it's not enough to the Arizona Cardinals' liking to even put that in his contract. But even though now the statement that the Cardinals released, this contract, this clause created a reaction that we did not want. I think that's a damn lie. Oh, they wanted all of that reaction that everybody gave Kyler Murray. Because then essentially, it's a lot of people were calling him a dumbass.
Again, if the shoe fits, I guess.
I mean, because wait a minute, you just signed a $230 million contract, you got $160 million guaranteed, and your contract comes with homework?
Again, if the shoe fits, I guess. If he knows one thing, and that's how to get to his bank card and how much money to take out at the end of the month. Y'all paying him, so if anything, he might not know how to study film, but I know he know how to do math. And he sure can count on the dotted line. So he ain't as dumb as we giving him credit for. I'll give him that.
But that's going to follow him. Whenever he struggles, during the season, that's the first thing people are gonna say now.
Oh, on ES, I'm pretty sure ABC on them late night games. Being like, well, if he studied film more, then he would have known not to throw into the double coverage. Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure we're gonna have a good laugh about that while he throws into the end zone in the triple coverage. Oh yeah, I'll have a good couple of laughs on that. At least half the season.
I can hear it now. Them playing at L.A. or them playing at San Francisco, and him throwing an interception, and the crowd chanting, "Do you study?" Clap, 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 clap. Do you study?
Childish. I'll be laughing. I'll get a kick all the way out of that.
And you heard it here first, people. If you hear a chant that says, "Do you study?" I want my royalties. Just like if anybody uses habitual dick shower, David gets his royalties.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But, hey, look, should it be like that? No. Should it follow him his career? No. But, I mean, it's a real thing. Does he deserve that attention? Not really. But, again, is it a proven thing that does he study film? You know?
Well, like I said, whether he studies film or not now, and I think that he will study more film this season and probably going forward just because that narrative is out about him now, because, again, that's going to follow him the rest of his career.
Most of your top-tier quarterbacks being there for hours studying film.
Right, absolutely.
He's not one of those quarterbacks that just feels he needs to study film for hours on hours on hours. I don't know why, but then again, these new age quarterbacks, they running guns, live by the run, die by the scramble.
Well, he'd rather be playing
one of those quarterbacks.
He'd rather be playing Call of Duty.
And he'd rather be playing Call of Duty. Maybe he feels like that's more important to his game than studying goal line defense of the Chargers. I don't know. Whatever's going to make him a better quarterback. If he feels like sudden death in Call of Duty works for him, let him do it. He got the extension worth how many million?
160 guaranteed dollars. 160 million guaranteed dollars.
Maybe he's studying enough. Maybe it was the Cardinals that needed to do the studying on him.
Maybe.
It's not so much that he's the dumbass, maybe they're the dumbasses. Here's my thought.
Well, they wrote that dumbass. I tell you what, they wrote that dumbass check.
Yeah, I cashed that stupid check too.
Yeah, this is a damn dumbass check for $160 million. Yeah, put that in my bank, please.
Yeah, the Bank of Idiots and Idiots Co. Idiots International. I'm damn sure going to give me like 15 PlayStations and be playing Madden.
I'll be playing Call of Duty on the way to the training facility.
I bet you that's all he'll be playing, Madden.
Probably.
Just play Madden. He'll be playing himself on Madden. This is all the studying I need to do. Like, no, I'm playing the Chargers right now. We got them next, right? So I'm studying. I got it on hard. I got it on all-star difficulty right now.
Got it on all Madden mode.
That's how we get ready. I mean, it's kind of the same thing, right?
They try to make the game more realistic every year.
Maybe that's how he prepares. He just play Madden.
Well, before we get out of here, what did you think of the? I addressed this. This is the first thing I addressed in the show. What did you think of the Will Smith apology?
Man, I heard that like little 10 seconds worth of apologies. Man, what did he say? He said he tried to reach out to him and he tried to wait till the stars or some shit was aligned or some garbage he came out with. Man, I don't think nothing. Look, no. He need to do better than that. What it was, I think his ass sleeping on the couch, and she told him she wasn't gonna give him none until he came out and made that apology, because ain't nobody messing with him. And he know good and well nobody messing with him until he make that apology. Because I hear what the I Am Legend 2 is in talks right now, and right now it's slated for him and the other boy, Creed. I keep
Michael B. Jordan?
his name, Michael B. Jordan. But they're both supposed to be starring in it and producing in it.
I Am Legend 2, but he died in I Am Legend 1.
Hey, look, I'm just reading off the credits right now. Right now, but in the alternate ending, remember, it had two endings. The one we seen was he died, pulled the pin, boom, he exploded. But there was an alternate ending where he pulled the pin and got out. So there's two ways you're gonna watch it. But he's slated to star in it and be producing with Michael B. Jordan. Don't ask me how. But right now they can still flip the script and just have him producing if they want to go do that, and Michael B. Jordan doing it solo. But if he didn't make that apology, I don't see how he could have done either one of them things.
Well, I don't have a problem with his apology, to be honest with you, because one thing about, people as a society, people out there coming at him saying that, coming at him. Now, look, he did it. I mean, he slapped the nigga. He did. And he's going to be the butt of jokes, and he earned that. I said earlier, he's going to be the butt of a lot of jokes, and he earned it. He did earn it. But if he's apologizing and he seems remorseful, who the hell are we or anybody to say, no, it's not good enough? The only person who should make that decision is Chris Rock.
But here's the reverse side of that. Has Chris Rock accepted it?
Who the hell knows? Now, but see, that's between them. Now, look, D, I'm going to give you an example that I gave earlier. Chris Rock, I believe that Chris Rock is they're gonna patch it up, and they're gonna eventually, you'll see them together publicly. You know why? Because there's money to be made off of it. Now, right now, Chris Rock is making all the money off of it, as he should. His face took the slap.
Yeah,
but think about Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield. What happened?
Oh yeah. They eventually squashed it.
And then they made money off of it.
Yeah.
How many parodies have we seen on movies, on commercials with both of them? Like, remember the commercial where Mike Tyson knocked at Evander Holyfield's door and he handed him a package. He said, "It's your ear." And then he gave him a hug. Like, it was,
yeah.
Or at the end of Grudge Match with Sylvester Stallone and Robert De Niro, when Kevin Hart was negotiating the third fight, and Kevin Hart said Holyfield was like, nope. And then Kevin Hart said, "I give you a part in The Hangover 3. And Mike Tyson was like, "You son of a bitch." And he attacked Kevin Hart, and Evander Holyfield said, "Watch your ear."
Yeah.
So they'll squash it. They'll make money off of it. But as far as everybody else, Joe Public said, "Nope, Will Smith, get the hell out of here." Because people act like they shit don't stink when the spotlight's not on them. The only thing I said I think Will Smith should do is I think he should leave Jada alone. I think Jada's a toxic chick. That's the only thing I think he should do is leave her alone.
Oh yeah, we've been talking about that. Yeah, she's going to be the instrument of his destruction at the end of the day. He's too butthurt over her, and I don't see why. Like, it's too much for him. Hey, what's going on there? He's too butthurt over her, and he's not in control of his own actions at this point. When you feel like you just that untouchable, where you can't take a joke. I think that's a little bit too much outside his realm right now.
Right. So and
on top of all that, let's not forget, and this was all done to keep the foreshadowing away from the fact that she just admitted that she's been cheating on you, my nigga.
Yeah.
Like, she quick to point the blame on the Chris, and she just kind of foreshadows away from the fact that, oh, he talking about me. Let's talk about what we really need to be talking about. She been cheating on you for years, bro.
I think they've probably been cheating on each other, and I just believe they have an open marriage, but she's just kind of emasculated him about it. The red table talk and all of that dumb shit.
That shit, bro.
Like, I don't have a problem with Will Smith's apology. I don't think he should think of himself as a piece of shit or be ashamed of. I mean, he had a piece of shit moment. That's why I don't think he's a piece of shit. He just had a piece of shit moment. But I think I don't have a problem with his apology. I just think he need to ditch Jada. He need to bye bitch her.
Bye bitch.
Yeah, I'm with that. I'm not saying that the marriage don't need work, I mean, all marriages do need work. No marriage is gonna be 100% all the time. You're gonna have your ups, your downs, all that.
Who are you talking to?
But,
Say, D, who are you talking to?
fair enough. But when it comes to that one right there, nah, that's just poison right there. It's gasoline in the match waiting to explode.
Yeah.
And it hasn't happened yet. Like that right there, that's just the lighter fluid right there. That's just somebody pouring gas on it and just waving the lighter around.
Jesus Christ, if that's just the lighter fluid, I'd hate to see when the gunpowder gets added to it.
Exactly. Like it's waiting to happen. But this was Will Smith just like, all right, like you said, having a piece of shit moment. But that moment is going to be intensified once he finally loses it and once it finally hits his head. Like, no, this shit, like I was tripping that day. Yeah, that's cool. But no, this bitch been tripping for years. 4 years. And I just stood back and let it happen. Now, that's going to be interesting once he finally really loses it in the right direction. Once he channels all that and says, all right, let's focus on the real problem then. It's you. It's you. Like, I don't just go around slapping dudes, but you go around sleeping with them. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. You belong to these streets.
Yeah.
You ain't for me. You for these streets.
Yeah.
Just realize it. Let's talk about that at your red table. No, we ain't got to do it in public. We ain't got to do it in private. Let's talk about it on your show. Let's talk about how you belong to these streets. You ain't for me. You for these streets, yo. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, we like to talk about everything else.
Right, we talk about everything else on your little your platform. Let's bring all this on there. Why not? Let's get him involved.
Oh, and guess what? What is today? Today is August 1st.
Oh yeah, it's his month all year, all month long. Why not? Bring him on there. Now I can definitely see Will Smith punching him in the face a couple times. Just dragging him.
That nigga gonna turn into Mike Lowry.
Yep. Just dragging his monkey ass. He'd be sitting there calm for a minute. Next thing you know, he's dragging him across the damn table.
He'd be like, Hancock, stop!
Now that I can see. But yeah, man, look, fair enough. It ain't for us. It's not our place because it's not our mess. But in the place of his mess that it is a part of, there's deeper things there. And the reality of this situation is it's nowhere near done. Yeah, he apologized to Chris, but the one apology that needs to be said, that need to be had, it's nowhere near coming out.
Absolutely not.
He needed to apologize to Chris, all that, the third, but she been needing to apologize to Will.
Yeah.
Needed to apologize to Will.
Yeah.
And has it happened yet?
We don't know. Maybe it has, but we don't know because we don't know what goes on behind closed doors. But I mean, like I said, I will stick to what I'm saying is that he needs to go on about his business. Like I said, he need to bye bitch her ass.
Bye bitch.
Yeah, should have been done it. Because pretty soon it's gonna be too late at some point, and then you stuck. It was already crazy.
I mean, but the kids are grown too, so you know you ain't got to worry about child support.
Oh, fair enough. That's always a plus. That's always a plus.
But anyway, I'm gonna let you go ahead and get back to it. I may hit you up on that three-way we was trying to do earlier. The three-way with Sean, getting Sean on the line too.
Yeah. It was good to talk to Sean, man. He talked to him some time, man. All right, bro. Man, you take your time, man.
I may hit you back, but just keep your phone on you.
Oh, man, it's always on me, man. I just got to get back, finish this work up, man, so I can get out of here.
Yeah, as long as the iPhone's not attached to your nuts.
Yeah, that'd be terrible. First of all, I don't even got no iPhone. Second of all, if it was attached to my nuts, man, I need to get some counseling myself. I'm out here doing too much at that point. I want Bill Gates to stop me.
All right, man.
I'm using his products wrong.
All right, man.
They need to put me on catfish or something. The angle wrong. Like, no, that's right. That's right. You just looking wrong. All right, bro, man. Take your time. Bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. All right, later. Oh, man. Old Cutting David, man. I was trying to get him and Sean on the line, but I'm going to have that happen. I will. I'm going to have that happen. But in the meantime, I have got my guy on the line who's been kind of a stranger during the summertime. But you guys know him. Tony, what up, though, dude?
Yeah, what's going on? What's going on?
You, stranger. How you been, though, man?
I've been all right.
As I was telling Tony before we got on wax, is that every time I thought about, maybe taking a week off, something happens to give me more content or stuff to talk about, not just me, everywhere. So let's just start off with what the breaking news was this morning. What do you think of the Deshaun Watson 6-game suspension?
I think it's light.
You said you think what?
I think it's light.
Okay.
I think it should have been heavier than that. Remember who you talking to? You talking to the Cowboys. So, Zeke got more than that for just being Zeke.
No, well, Zeke had a 6-game.
No criminal charges, no nothing, but come on, man. He settled with, I don't know, how many women did he settle
with all but one.
Like a whole village full of women. You know what I'm saying? And in Zeke's case it was one, but come on, man. He got light. He got off light.
Now the NFL office, as in Roger Goodell and those guys, can appeal, or Roger Goodell himself can add games to the suspension. Do you think that's going to happen?
And not knowing Goodell, no. Nope. Probably not. Because in the big picture, in the grand scheme of things, the NFL is about making money, and having Deshaun Watson on the field this season will make the NFL money. So I don't foresee them adding any games.
I don't either, but for other reasons. I believe that the NFL just wants this to go away because of the financial gain, as you were just mentioning. But also, I believe Deshaun Watson's representation might have thrown at the NFL, okay, didn't you guys say you're going to hold the owners to a higher standard? But in the case of Robert Kraft, Jerry Jones, and Daniel Snyder, nothing happened. That could very well have happened. And they could also be saying, well, he already missed the year, So I think those things were in play as well. And also that this was determined by a judge. Sue Robinson, I think that's her name. But this was determined by a judge whose career is the judicial system. Now, a lot of people over the years, yourself included, in regards of Ezekiel Elliott, has had a problem with Roger Goodell acting like he's bigger than the judicial system itself. What did you just say about Zeke? No criminal charges, 6 games anyway. That was 5 years ago. Do you think that that's gonna? I tend to agree with you. I don't think that there'll be any type of appeal or more games given, despite the fact that people aren't going to be satisfied. There are going to be people out there who will never be satisfied with this decision. Anything outside of Deshaun Watson being banned from the NFL for life or being put in jail. So no, I don't think so either. I don't think it'll be any more games either. So what do you think that does? Okay, so we settled that a little quicker than I thought. But now for the Cleveland Browns, if you're a Cleveland Browns fan and 6 games is all you're looking at, let me read you the Cleveland Browns schedule, their first 6 games. They start off with the Carolina Panthers, Baker Mayfield. That's funny, even though I don't think Baker Mayfield will be starting. I know you do. I don't. I think they're going to start Sam Darnold.
I'm going to go with Keyshawn Johnson on this one. I think that they're gonna let him compete, and I think that Baker will win that starting job.
Okay. Oh, you could very well be right. Now that's their week 1 game, Carolina. Week 2 is the home to the Jets. Week 3 home to the Steelers. Week 4 at the Falcons. Week 5 at the home to the Chargers. Week 6 home to the Patriots. What do you think their record could look like after 6 games?
Oh man. Wow. I'm gonna say like 2-4 maybe. Well, no, I'll give them 3-3 because I see them losing the Steelers, Chargers. I'm gonna say 3-3.
That's around what I was looking at too. I was looking at around 3-3. I was even possibly looking at 4-2 because you don't know what you're getting yet with the Patriots. You really don't know what you're getting with the Steelers.
This is true. But for the sake of the Steelers, I'll go continuity in their case and believe that because you do have most of the same personnel, continuity, they should be okay.
Now, do you think if they're 3-3 and Deshaun comes back in, because now talking about Deshaun the quarterback, to me, Deshaun the quarterback is a top 5, top 3 quarterback in the league. Do you think that puts them as a major player in the AFC? If they're 3-3 when Deshaun gets back?
No. I'll say there'll be a playoff team in terms of it being the top team over there.
And what I mean is a playoff team, because once you get in the tournament, anything can happen.
Yeah, that's true. I don't have. See, that's the thing. I don't have Deshaun Watson that high, especially in the AFC. I don't have him that high. But we'll see. Like I said, I think they are in fact a playoff team. I just don't know, what they could do when it gets right down to it. They may, I'd say, they're like the Chargers or maybe even with the Colts with Matt Ryan. You don't know. They have the talent on paper. It looks like they could make noise, but you got to see it to believe it.
See, the thing with the Colts with me is that they're pretty stacked everywhere, except I have questions about their receiving core.
Yeah. And
I didn't know that one of their receivers went to Philly.
Right, yeah. Again, with them, you got to kind of see it. You got to see how it gels. They've become more of a running team anyway, so, we'll see how that shakes out.
I think that once Deshaun gets back, I believe it will solidify that division as the second best division in football, because then you will have 3 Pro Bowl quarterbacks, as the AFC West has 4 Pro Bowl quarterbacks. I think if all you want to do is, look at the Super Bowl from this past year. You get into the playoffs and see what happens.
That's everybody. You get in, as far as you got to get into the tournament, and then anything can happen.
Right. And if they're able to do that, they're still they're one of the most well-balanced rosters, that are put together on paper strictly. Of course, you have to factor in injuries and stuff like that. That's going to go on through a 17-game season. But from a football standpoint, I'd have to put them up there if Deshaun comes back and plays like Deshaun can play. Now, Kyler Murray, my friend. What a week last week was for Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
First, you start off by getting a contract extension. Yay! 230, 160 guaranteed. Yay! Then the very next day, we found out about a study clause on your contract that that requires you to study at least 4 hours per week, film study, or they can pretty much void your contract. Then, because of all of the public outcry, that clause in your contract gets removed. Who looks worse here, sir?
I think team looks worse. Team, when you're dishing out money like that, and you view that being a deficiency in or a hole in Kyler Murray's game, I'm with the team on that. I'm with the team on they should not, if that was their position, they should have stayed with that position. They should have just stayed with it. I think that these guys, this goes all the way back to, say, the guy like RG3, man, where, you heard the murmurs and stuff later on. Yeah, he had all the talent in the world, but the dude was not a person that wanted to study film. You get paid to do it. It's part of your job.
Or slide.
Huh?
Or slide in the case of RG3.
So I have no problem with them putting it in the contract. They should have left it in the contract. They should have left it. It was something that was harmless, and anybody that was arguing against it is like, come on now, it's not that hard. Like, it's not that difficult. The ass that, that ass, 4 hours, come on, it's not that difficult.
I think that, I think 50-50. I think both sides look equally as bad. Because, one, if you're Kyler Murray, they put that clause in there for a reason. So that means it's something that they weren't satisfied with what you were doing. Maybe the lack of film study could, maybe that's why the last 2 seasons the Cardinals would start to flame out because of the lack of preparation. Maybe. Now, if you're the organization, why they look bad is because you embarrassed your star quarterback who you just paid a boatload of money to. And if you wanted it left in there, I'm with you. I'm with you as far as the organization. If you felt that strongly about it, then you shouldn't have took it out. But it shouldn't have been made public. And but here's one thing that I don't believe that the organization, that statement that the organization released after they removed the clause, I thought that was all bullshit. Because they knew exactly the backlash that was going to get. And I think the backlash is going to turn into their favor more, because even though that clause has been removed from the contract, you think Kyler Murray is not going to study film more, at least this season coming up? Because now, this is what I was just telling my cousin, this is going to follow him for the rest of his career. Right. Anytime Kyler Murray struggles on the football field, that's the first thing that you're going to hear. That's the first question that's going to get asked. So while the Cardinals may have removed it from the contract, the damage has been done. It's too late. It's too late. I can hear it now. I was telling my cousin this. I can hear it now. Them having a game at Los Angeles or at San Francisco, and he's struggling. He gets picked. He gets picked. He misses a blitz. He throws in the double coverage. You can hear the crowd chanting, "Did you study?" Clap, 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 clap. Did you study? Clap, 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 clap. The damage has been done, bro.
Yeah, maybe they should have worded it differently. In the contract, they could have put it under practice or something else. They probably should have just worded it differently.
They gave him the Jamarcus Russell treatment.
Yeah, well, again, it's one of those things. You doling out that money. He wanted the money. Well, okay, this is our ask for the money. It's fair from an organizational standpoint. The fans are gonna do what the fans are gonna do. You could have worded, I guess you could have worded differently, but like I said, I don't have a problem with it. Like, you hand in dudes that amount of money. It should be in everybody's contract, and then there's no issue. You just put it in everybody's contract globally. You're not saying the guy doesn't do it, but you put it in the contract, then you don't have to worry about it. In everybody's contract, that is not a thing.
Well, the fact that this was made so public, that's why it was like so unprecedented.
But the problem is, who made it public? See, that's one of them things, man. That agent probably did that.
You said what?
The agent probably did that.
Well, whoever did it didn't do Kyler Murray any favors. I don't think the agent would do that, because I think the agent would. Come on. If you're the agent, you have to have some type of wherewithal to think, this might make my client look bad. Because if you listen to sports talking heads all last week, they were 50-50. 50% of people were like, all the Cardinals are wrong for doing this. They embarrassed that boy. They're going to pay him all that money, and they're going to humiliate him like that. And then there's the other 50% is like, well, this explains a lot. Why they keep on fizzling out during the season. You for $160 million, you better study blah 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 blah. I think somebody from the organization leaked it out. I really do.
It's possible.
Cause bro, if you my agent and I found out that you leaked that shit out, you fired. You fired. Straight up. Because like I said, this is staying with him forever. This is gonna be with him for his entire. He could win a Super Bowl. I don't give a damn. As soon as his play is subpar, they're gonna throw this at his feet every time as long as he wear a football uniform. So I wish that would have been my agent. No, he fired.
The only thing I can say really with in terms of Kyler, bro, is you got the money.
Yeah, he did get the money now. That's the bottom line.
That's it. Go play ball. So no matter what they say, you can go out there and play ball. Go show your ass, and I think it'll follow him. But if his play, if his play is not or it is not up to standard, he'll hear it. And if his play is, if he goes out there and balls out, then he won't hear it. If he's not the reason why the team doesn't excel, he won't hear it. So, I mean, that's what it boils down to anyway. So just go out and play your contract. Go out and play commensurate with the money that you got, and then, fans can't really say too much.
Yeah, well, I mean, the bottom line is the bottom line. And the bottom line is he got paid. He got paid a grip. He's the second highest paid quarterback behind said mentioned Deshaun Watson. So, he got his dough.
Yeah. And if you go out and you play, well, I don't know that anybody could play up to that standard of money because it's a ridiculous amount of money. But if you play and in terms of the fans' minds and especially in terms of the media's mind, the talking heads, if you stuff in that stat, thing, and you're not losing these games in crucial situations like you did in the past, then you won't hear it quite as much. And then that's it.
But you can tell that it hurt it. You could tell that it was bothering him because he's the one that called that press conference on Thursday.
Right.
You could clearly tell that it was getting on his nerves because that press conference had nothing to do with the Arizona Cardinals. This was pretty much Kyler Murray calling a press conference to defend himself because that's how much people was coming at his neck. I said 50-50. Maybe I need to adjust that money. Maybe it was 65-35, 65% calling Kyler Murray out. Because he certainly did come out with a press conference saying, to think that I don't do this is ridiculous. Da 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 da. Bro, if you prefer playing Call of Duty more than studying, man, just own it. Just play, just like Tony said, play your contract.
Yeah, that's all you can do. And it'll show, it'll show either your play will match up to what you get paid or it won't, and it'll show. As athletic as you are, you miss them throws, make bad reads, all of that, it'll show.
It sure will. Now, I'm not into, I don't follow the whole training camp thing, but what do you think about big loss, Tampa Bay center tearing his ACL? Or lost for months?
Well, I mean, that's big for any team. I think the upside for them is, the quarterback that you got is Tom Brady. He can work with guys that may not be quite as talented as the starter. So I see it as a loss, somewhat. But in the big picture, if you had to lose a center and have a certain kind of quarterback, behind that center, Tom Brady would probably be the best that you could probably have. Him or a guy like Aaron Rodgers. So,
well, what do you think of Julio Jones signing with Tampa Bay?
I don't think anything because I don't know what Julio is. No one knows what Julio is right now. We'll see. I think if he, stays healthy, they'll figure out a way to utilize him. And he could end up being a surprise for a lot of people in the NFC. But he also could end up just being a guy.
Yeah, you figure, I looked at that signing and the signing of Kyle Rudolph as basically replace Gronk signings.
Right. And And then are you really replacing Gronk, or are you just placeholder for Gronk until Gronk decides he won't play football again?
Well, that's a good point. But Kyle Rudolph is a damn good tight end.
He is. So it may be that you don't need Gronk, but then what if Gronk turns around and decides he wants to play football again? Then you can kind of run that New England offense a little bit with the double tight ends. They're gonna run that New England offense regardless because they still got Cameron Brate. Yeah, you're right. So we'll see.
Now let me pivot off of the sports for a second because there's nothing in the NBA going on worth talking about.
They got to send a shout out to the late great William Russell.
Oh, no. I was talking about as far as free agency. I was gonna get to Bill Russell.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna. Oh no. I know better than that now. I posted a picture on Facebook yesterday with the summit picture from 67 in Houston. I know better than that. Okay. All right. I'm a pivot to Will Smith's apology. We've talked about this. What do you think of his apology?
I thought it was, well, just in general, I think it's a little late in the game. However, the slap was public. This is something I told my wife about it. I said the slap was public. The apology was public. I guess it was directed to Chris Rock. It wasn't directly to Chris Rock, but it was directed to Chris Rock. I do think PR played a part in it, but an apology is an apology. And so we're on the outside looking in. So questioning the sincerity of the apology and all that stuff is kind of ridiculous because, at the end of the day, it came. It's an apology. So,
thank you.
There's some people that want to see Will Smith down on his one knee in front of Chris Rock, and I'm so sorry, and offering the man an engagement ring.
And I'll kiss the tip of your shit if you accept my apology.
Exactly. There's want to see that. That never was going to happen anyway. And, again, he did it in the same way he did the slap. It was public. So everyone saw it. Everyone saw this. People will judge it for what they judge it for. But, I think there was a little follow-up thing, I guess, with Will commenting on his relationship with Chris Rock's brother that,
Tony Rock, yeah.
Irreparable, and all that. But, hey, at the end of the day, if it's good enough for Chris Rock, is all that matters.
Exactly. Right. That's what I was saying earlier because I hear people who have been, throwing shade on Will Smith's apology. And it's just amazing how people act like they shit don't stink when the eye of the storm is not pointed at them.
Right.
And people are so quick to judge. Will Smith is a living, breathing, drink water, breathe air human being. He messed up. Period. And now I have no problem with Will Smith's apology. None whatsoever. Because he seemed very remorseful. Yeah, it was a little late in the game for me too, but sometimes it's better to show up late than to not show up at all. Bottom line is, he messed up. And people in life who want to act like they shit don't stink have messed up too. As long as Chris Rock, like you said, as long as the apology is good enough for Chris Rock. And as far as that goes, I used an example earlier when I talked about Mike Tyson. As to why I'm such a Mike Tyson fan, because cancel culture is people doing nothing but asking other people to do something that is impossible, and that's be perfect. And why I'm such a Tyson fan is because he's been knocked down so many times, some by his own volition, sometimes people have wronged him, but he keeps getting back up. And this is going to happen with Will Smith. If you're a real Will Smith fan, you don't dislike Will Smith now. If you're a real Will Smith fan, you still riding with Will Smith. Another Tyson comparison I use, him and Chris Rock will be seen in public again. They might not have the same type of friendship, but they will have a cordial relationship. Why? Because there's money to be made off of it. Chris Rock is making all of the money now, and he should. His face took the abuse.
How about this? How interesting would it be if some director got balls and called it both and said, let's do a movie together?
That wouldn't surprise me. Look, again, another Tyson comparison. Tyson and Holyfield. How many spoofs, commercials, movies have they been in together making fun of that situation in 1997, the ear-biting incident? There's money to be made off of this. Chris gonna make it all now. And Will Smith is gonna be the butt of comedic jokes, but he earned that. He earned it. You know, people are gonna clown him, and he earned it. But somewhere down the line, maybe a couple years down the line, they'll squash this and they'll make money off of this. Like you said, a director could call and say, "Hey, let's do a movie. let's do a comedy thriller where I could see both of them being the damn supervillains."
Right. Yeah.
You know, I mean, really. You know, people. You know, the drama is what makes the content sell. Chris Rock is a sensible human being. He's riding his wave for what it's worth. I don't blame him. I don't blame him whatsoever, because at the end of the day, yeah, Will Smith made the choice to do what he did. The only thing that I think Will Smith should do is he needs to leave Jada alone. That's the only thing.
Yeah, I think it should he do that, one, it would drown out pretty much all the noise surrounding the slap. That's the first thing, because you'd have so many people that would embrace him immediately under the premise that you left the toxicity. So you left the individual. You're not associated with the individual anymore that we believe caused you to do that. And it would just be good for him PR-wise.
Right.
General. So, you know, yeah, you're right. Leave Jada, and all of a sudden his image goes from where it is right now back to close to maybe the level before the slap.
Yeah, and you know, the whole notion of him being banned from the Academy for 10 years, who the fuck cares? That would be the least of my concerns. I mean, honestly, okay, I can't fine. You know how many other, you know, I mean, that as long as that don't stop me from getting my paper, then the hell with it. Yeah, I would just leave. That's the only thing. I would leave Jada alone. Him and Chris Rock will patch this up. Now, like I said, it might not be the same friendship that maybe it once was, but they will both patch it up, and they will find a way to have significant financial gain from it.
Right. Yep.
I'm just still waiting to see Mike Tyson host the Oscars.
Yeah, well, that's gonna be kind of I love Mike now. Mike's a funny dude. Well, Mike probably always was a funny dude.
Yeah.
A lot to laugh about. Now he can laugh at himself.
Right.
That's what counts.
Exactly. And I mean, yeah, go ahead. Run up on stage on Mike if you want to. Dude's in the best shape that he's been in since he was 20 years old. Okay. But yeah, so I just wanted you, me and you pretty much share the exact opinion on Will Smith's apology. Is, you know, maybe a little late in the game, but you know what? He apologized. He's a person. He messed up. It really shouldn't matter how Joe Public feels about the apology. He didn't slap Joe Public. He slapped Chris Rock.
Exactly.
Oh, watching him do that hurt me. Oh, shut up. Then change the fucking channel.
Yeah, I saw some stuff on Facebook. People was carrying it like that, like it wasn't a sincere apology. He should apologize again to them, like to them.
For what?
And some people actually said good because I had to endure watching it take place. What?
Kill look,
yourself.
if he
Kill yourself.
Man, please repeat what you just said. They wanted to do what?
Kill yourself. Exactly.
Yeah, kill yourself quickly. Because the only people that he owed apologies to outside of Chris Rock was, for one, the people who was getting that award, that specific award, when he slapped Chris Rock, because it took the shine away, and the people in the Academy. Them the only other people who were there at that award ceremony that night. He should apologize to them along with Chris Rock. Anybody watching it on TV, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Change your damn channel. Mute it. Do some shit. Because I guarantee you, most of Joe Public was like me. I kept rewinding that shit.
Playing in there slow motion and everything.
I sure did. I rewound this shit and put the shit on Facebook. I was like, did y'all just see this? You don't owe me no damn apology. Shit, that made the Oscars more interesting than ever. If anything, we need to tell him thank you. The hell out of here. Oh, okay, now let me transition back to sports. Absolutely. I was gonna end off conversations with yesterday the passing of Bill Russell, 88 years old, Boston Celtics great, 11 championships in 13 seasons. His last 2 championships was the only one that was won by a player who was also acting head coach, player coach. And he won all of those things in Boston. And outside of the field of play, if you will, his contributions to the civil rights movement of the 1960s, the picture with Muhammad Ali on the summit in 67 when Muhammad Ali refused to go to the Vietnam War, Bill Russell was front and center. Dr. Martin Luther King in 1963, when he made his I Have a Dream speech, wanted Bill Russell on the stage with him. But Bill Russell responded saying, no, because I haven't done enough. It gives you the type of idea. While playing in Boston, Massachusetts, while winning championships with the Boston Celtics, having his home broken into, his possessions smashed, even people taking a doo-doo on his bed, while winning that city title after title after title. And but while you have the first all-black starting lineup for the Boston Celtics, in this very same city you have the Boston Red Sox being the last team to integrate in Major League Baseball. Who can figure that one out? But we lost a legend yesterday. The NBA Finals trophy is, the NBA Finals MVP trophy is named after Bill Russell. He is, I don't even think, arguably the greatest player in the history of team sports. Now, if you want to go and have a debate over the modern basketball era, that's no problem. I would probably side with the modern basketball era. But you can't take away what he accomplished, where he accomplished, and how he accomplished everything that he was able to. Sir, your comments.
In terms of Bill Russell, the player, I won't. Modern, past, some people transcend, and you can tell by the athlete, by what he contributed on court. These things would transfer to the modern era. These things, that some players, their on-court b-ball IQ, transcends errors. And I think he's one of those guys, in terms of that, outside with what Magic said about him, that this guy was literally the greatest winner. Greatest winner. You can debate whether he was the greatest center, where he sits in top 100 all-time list. But one thing you can't debate, he was the greatest winner.
No, you can't debate that. And you can't.
Times he wasn't the leading scorer on his team, but he was still the leader.
Exactly.
So, it is what it is. And in terms of the civil rights things, icon. He did what was expected at the time. And to be in a city like Boston, notoriously racist, city like Boston, they didn't appreciate his greatness. A lot of them didn't appreciate his greatness, even as, like you said, even as he was winning titles. It was what it was. There were 2 losses yesterday. I'll touch on the other one lightly. Nichelle Nichols.
Yes. Yes.
This is for the Trek heads, for the Trekkies.
Star Trek. Yeah.
Simultaneously, while he was doing his thing to transcend and become something more than just a guy that dribbled the ball, she also, it's funny, that common link with Dr. King, there it is, where she had the first interracial kiss television.
Right.
And she wanted to leave Star Trek at one point, and Dr. King told her, no, don't, because it's bigger than that. It's bigger than the reasons why she wanted to leave were bigger than what she was actually accomplishing. So she chose to stay because he said what he said to her. So, these people, it's hard to quantify their impact. It may not seem that big to younger people, but it's what you're seeing now, and us being able to go on whatever platform we go on and say what we say and do what we do. These are people that were the pioneers.
Absolutely. And a lot was made 2 weeks ago when LeBron James brought up Boston on the shot. He said, because they racist as hell. And this is 2022, and people still feel that way about a city. Imagine what this man was going through 60 years ago.
Right.
While they were the most successful team, I mean, come on. In the world of sports, around the 1960s, your most successful teams were the Celtics and the Yankees, and in their sports respectively. And to go through all of that and just continue to conduct himself with dignity and class, definite icon, definite pioneer. Like I said yesterday on Facebook and Instagram, I posted the summit picture from 1967, where sitting with him, sitting at the table was, of course, Muhammad Ali, Jim Brown, and Lou Alcindor, now known, of course, as Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. But this was while Kareem was still at UCLA. He wasn't even in the pros yet.
Right.
It was something bigger than just their athletic ability, something bigger than their sport. They stood with a man whose religious views would not allow him to go overseas and kill people for a country that viewed him as not even a second-class citizen, probably a third-class citizen. And well-known athletes like Jim Brown, like Bill Russell, like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar sat with Muhammad Ali. And these guys are pioneers. We lost a great one yesterday. 88 years old. That's still a great life.
And speaking of sitting with, I forget who it was telling the story, but they were saying Bill Russell is the kind of man that if you just happen to find yourself in his orbit and you'd ask him for an autograph, depending on who you were, he might ask you to sit down and have a conversation with him. Not just get an autograph. So, people person.
Well, when
relatable through eras, and the reason why I said is he would translate as a player through eras. Look at his involvement with the modern NBA. Over the past 10 years, every time you turn around, Bill Russell at a game, Bill Russell sitting there, Bill Russell talking to somebody, modern player, another sitting next to another player from another era. It's translatable.
Absolutely, and because he was a player he was a person who, no matter what era you're in, players respected him. I mean, with the utmost. I remember after Shaquille O'Neal got traded from the Lakers to Miami, the first season, him and Kobe had nothing to say to each other. But their next game, the Miami's game in 2006 against the Lakers, this was Shaq's second season with the Heat. He came out and he hugged Kobe. And when they asked Shaq about that, he said, the great Bill Russell demanded that me and Kobe end this feud. And that was that.
Yeah, that's clout.
That is clout. That is clout. When arguably he tells your two most popular players in the NBA, squash it now. And it gets squashed now. Period.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, my man, any parting shots?
Nah, I don't think. I think that. I got one, and this is a sports entertainment related shot.
Okay.
I think Logan Paul is a full-time wrestler now.
I think you're right. But you heard about Jake Paul just calling his fight off?
Yeah, I did.
I think that he don't want to see Hakeem Rahman Jr.
No.
To be honest with you.
If I were him, I wouldn't want to see him because now you're wading into that water with real.
Yeah, he a real boxer. He a real one. And, the stories have now come out about their sparring sessions. They said Rahman would eat his ass up in sparring. And now over a weight clause? Okay. And this was supposed to be on, this Saturday. You know what I'm saying? I had the old FS geared up, ready to use it. Because I watched the Amanda Nunes fight on it this past Saturday.
This is shades this is shades of Mayweather Pacquiao years before when they really were supposed to fight. Just gonna keep making up excuses to get around this, huh? So it don't seem like you don't really want to fight the dude, but because you could just fight him.
Yeah, no, see what? No, the fight that boxing is mirroring Mayweather Pacquiao is Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence. That's the fight that we've been waiting for, and it should have happened at least 3 years ago. Now both of these fighters are still in their prime. It's supposedly, now that Terrence Crawford is no longer with Top Rank, he's a free agent, that it's supposed to happen this fall. But hey, until they put a date on it, we'll see. And I don't believe it until they put a date on it. And it's a shame, because I only paid attention to that Jake Paul news because, one, Hakeem Rahman Jr. is a real boxer, and now we backing out of that fight. And two, it gave me something to watch Saturday night. That's really it. Because really, I just need a couple more Saturday nights, a couple more things to distract me Saturday night before preseason starts.
Gotcha. Yeah, well.
Quick question though. I'm gonna revisit this once the season starts. Quick question. Dark horse team, AFC. Who is it?
Oh, dark horse team, AFC. Miami.
Ah, okay. We agree 100%. That's who I was gonna say. Dark horse team, NFC. Who you think?
Dark horse team, NFC. I am going to say the Vikings.
The Vikings, okay. I'm going to say New Orleans. Now, once preseason ends and we see what teams are looking like, we got to see if any major injuries or anything like that have happened. I will ask that question again, along with asking you who do you think is going to win the division, blah, 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 blah. But all right, brother, stop being a stranger, brother.
Yes, sir.
All right, I'll get at you.
Okay, man.
All right. Oh, man. My man, Tony. Well, today has been an outstanding show. The last couple episodes have been short, but I think we did our thing today. So, with a buzzer. Okay. Well, again, as I said earlier, I hope everybody has a wonderful and blessed week. Birthday shout out. My bestie Alicia, her birthday was this past week on the 27th. Happy birthday, midget. And they had a cookout. They had a cookout on Saturday, which unfortunately I wasn't able to attend because of my job. And by the time I got home, got changed, it was past 9:00. But they also had a memorial service for her father. And remember, I gave him his own segment when he passed last year, Ron Curran. So I did see it on Facebook Live, though. It was awesome. And I hope your birthday was awesome, too, bestie. Hope your birthday was awesome, too, midget. But, yes, man. Hey. Once again, this is Brandon Brevon Towns. Y'all go check out my YouTube page, those DJ Braveezies that I dropped. The last one again was Jay-Z versus Nas. We talked about that. Me and David talked about that last week. And don't forget to hit that subscription button and become part of the Sports Plus Life family. It's your boy, Brandon Brevon Towns. I'm out this. Peace, and I love ya.